Corpse Monster of Arkansas, could this have been the Fouke Monster? According to the newspaper at the time, the year was 1913, and the folks in a small town in Arkansas were keeping watch over a body inside the house of a deceased farmer. To everyone's surprise, a creature walked into the home carrying a chain across his shoulders. He was wearing a white robe and had long, red hair. The creature's face was painted red and he had 2 horns set onto his head, or so the story goes. The poor folks who were keeping watch were so frightened by this devil that they all ran out of the house. When they were finally brave enough to return, the farmer's body was gone. This has not been the only case like this. Another creature from Arkansas which we suspect to be the same one. The Fouke Monster, also known as the Southern Sasquatch, is a legendary cryptid reported near the town of Fouke in Miller County, Arkansas, during the early 1970s. The creature was accused of attacking a local family. Initial sightings of the creature were concentrated in the Jonesville Boggy Creek area, where it was blamed for the destruction of local livestock. Later, sightings were made several hundred miles to the north and the east of Fouke. The creature was named by journalist Jim Powell, who reported on it for the Texarkana Gazette and the Texarkana Daily News. The Fouke Monster was also covered by the state desk headed by Norman L. Richardson of the Shreveport Times. It has been the subject of several films and a number of books. However, each time they seem to miss the case of the corpse monster. Various reports between 1971 and 1974 described the creature as being a large hominid-like creature covered in long dark hair, which was estimated to be about 7 feet tall with a weight of 250–300 pounds. Witnesses said that its chest was about 3 feet wide. Later reports, published during the early 1980s, claimed that it was far larger, with one report describing it as 10 feet tall, with an estimated weight of 800 pounds. Some accounts describe the Fouke Monster as running swiftly with a galloping gait and swinging its arms in a fashion similar to a monkey. Reports also describe it as having a terrible odor, the odor being described as a combination of a skunk and a wet dog, and as having bright red eyes about the size of silver dollars. A variety of tracks and claw marks have been discovered which are claimed to belong to the creature. One set of footprints reportedly measured 17 inches in length and 7 inches wide, while another appeared to show that the creature only had 3 toes. Although most cases date from the early 1970s onwards, Fouke residents claim that an ape-like creature had roamed the area since 1964, but those sightings had not been reported to news services. Local legend also holds that the creature can be further traced back to sightings in 1946. Most early sightings were in the region of Jonesville. Owing to this, the creature was known as the Jonesville Monster during this period. Prior to the 20th century reports, several reports in the general area have been tied to the Fouke Monster. The 2 most widely circulated reports focus on an 1851 report in the Memphis Inquirer, and an 1856 report in the Caddo Gazette. After 1971. Despite claims of earlier sightings, the Fouke Monster first made headlines in 1971, when it was reported to have attacked the home of Bobby and Elizabeth Ford late on the night of May 1. According to Elizabeth Ford, the creature, which she initially took to be a bear, reached through a screen window while she was sleeping on a couch. It was chased away by her husband and his brother Don, who were returning from a hunting trip. The creature returned shortly after midnight Sunday, May 2, when it was reported to have grabbed Bobby Ford across the shoulders as he stood on the porch, throwing him to the ground. Bobby managed to crawl free from the creature and was later treated at St. Michael Hospital in Texarkana, Arkansas, for scratches across his back. He was suffering from mild shock when he arrived. During the encounters, the Fords fired several shots at the creature and believed that they had hit it, though no traces of blood were found. An extensive search of the area failed to locate the creature, but 3-toed footprints were found close to the house, scratch marks on the porch, and some damage to a window in the house's siding. According to the Fords, they had heard something moving around outside late at night several nights before their encounter but, having lived in the house for less than a week, had never encountered the creature before. The creature was spotted again on May 23, 1971, when 3 people, D.C. Woods, Jr., Wilma Woods, and Mrs. R.H. Sejas, reported seeing an ape-like creature crossing U.S. Highway 71. More sightings were made over the following months by local residents and tourists, who found additional footprints. The best-known footprints were found in a soybean field belonging to local filling station owner Scott Keith. They were scrutinized by game warden Carl Gallion, who was unable to confirm their authenticity. Like the Ford prints, they appeared to indicate that the creature had only 3 toes. The creature began to attract substantial interest during the early 1970s. Soon after news spread about the Ford sighting, the Little Rock, Arkansas, radio station KAAY posted a $1,090 bounty on the creature. Several attempts were made to track the creature with dogs, but they were unable to follow its scent. When hunters began to take interest in the Fouke Monster, Miller County Sheriff Leslie Greer was forced to put a temporary no-guns policy in place in order to preserve public safety. In 1971, 3 people were fined $59 each for filing a fraudulent monster report. After an initial surge of attention, public interest in the creature decreased until 1973. It was boosted significantly when Charles B. Pierce released a documentary-style horror feature on the creature in 1972, The Legend of Boggy Creek. By late 1974, interest had waned again and sightings all but stopped, only to begin again in March 1978 when tracks were reportedly found by 2 brothers prospecting in Russellville, Arkansas. There were also sightings in Center Ridge, Arkansas, location. On June 26 of that same year, a sighting was reported in Crossett, Arkansas. During this period the creature was blamed for missing livestock and attacks on several dogs. Since the initial clusters of sightings during the 1970s, there have been sporadic reports of the creature. In 1991 the creature was reportedly seen jumping from a bridge. There were 40 reported sightings in 1997 and, in 1998, the creature was reportedly sighted in a dry creek bed 5 miles south of Fouke. More recent sightings from 2000-2010 were brought to light by Lyle Blackman's 2012 book, The Beast of Boggy Creek, The True Story of the Fouke Monster. In one case, a married couple saw a large, hairy bipedal creature run across a county road near Fouke in 2010. There is so much more to these stories. However, the point we would like to make is this: as we grow and expand as a people, we are waking up things long lost. One of them things may be sleeping under your house. Stay paranoid, my friends.